So for gradual release of responsibility, we start off the class with an opener where we kind of talk a little bit more about the two-house system that I like to call it between the SCLC and SNCC, just for like a refresher because the day prior we had gone over them, and as you can see, SNCC is right here as well. We mentioned the SCLC and SNCC. So it gives them like the two houses. Like SCLC has its own house. Nick is their neighbor next door. MLK owns the house for SCLC, and John Lewis owns Snicks. You know, put things in the windows what they focused on. Like Snick focused on sit-ins, while the SCLC was more on boycotts. Stuff like that, just to make sure a quick little review on them. But for today, we focus more on the Albany movement and March on Washington, since we hadn't gotten too much into those yet. I start them with a little reading on the Albany movement that they feel they are free to annotate. Not a big reading, not a long one, pretty short and simple for them. And, after they're done reading it, they're allowed to talk with those around them. So off the bat, the responsibility is actually on them, which seems weird for gradual release, but it picks up because as the period goes on, things become a little more teacher dependent as I discuss the Albany movement with them and then get into the March on Washington with this video. Obviously, I won't play all of it, like it's just a 5 minute video discussing, mm, you know, discussing March on Washington, its impact, how many people showed up to it versus expected. So, during that video, I will stop and pause it briefly to ask questions such as how many did they expect to show up versus how many did show up. It was 100,000 were expected, 250,000 did. So you see that kind of uh question I'll throw at them. Uh, I'll ask them what did MLK mean when he said, "I stand in the shadows of the man who uh ended slavery." I was like, what does that mean? And it's because they're at the Lincoln Memorial. He's standing right in front of it. So that's how that kind of goes. And then we get into this or that, the main part of gradual release. Um, During the video, you can't hear me or see the slides that well, unfortunately, because everyone's standing up, they're ready to go. They have done this similarly before, but not fully. So I start off with the I do, we do, you do kind of strategy where I say like this, big dots are strong, little are for milder. So if you're big dot, you'll be on this left side of the room or right side if you're fries. I stayed more towards the middle. I'm like fries, I prefer these more. Candy kind of upsets my stomach. But there is no middle, so I did choose a side, so you have to pick one. But there's no wrong answers. So once you pick that spot, you talk to others about why you chose to stand there, and you say those things. If you don't feel strongly, you'll choose one. And then we get into the actual questions. I do this first one with them because I knew many of them would pick the March on Washington, and I chose Albany movement. So you kind of circumvent and give them a response. And then these final two questions, they do completely on their own. And I'm only there to just, ask who wants to speak up on their behalf.